Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Awaken the World. We are live right now on this 9th day of April in the year of forgetfulness 2021. It is 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and tonight we are going to talk about choosing with confidence. So I see Sharon and I see Susan and there they disappeared. So I think Kelly just answered, but hi, I saw you briefly. It looks like Sharon won tonight, first on. And I know Susan won the other night. So that's good. Yeah, it's spreading it around. So as always, let me express my love for each and every one of you. You know, however you are right now in this moment is perfect. It's exactly what you need to be. And that doesn't mean that this is it. It means right now in this moment, things are perfect. And they will be in the next one too. So, pretty good discussion tonight. Just want to point out a few interesting little things that I thought were rather funny. You know, Elon Musk spent a lot of money developing this Neuralink idea of implanting a device into your brain and then being able to control, you know, digital equipment outside of you with that device in your brain. And the culmination of all this research was a monkey playing a video game. And I really thought to myself, that's a big waste of money, because it seems to me that we're all pretty much surrounded by monkeys playing video games these days. Just thought I'd point that out, you know. And the other thing, of course, is that there is been a continual increase in geological activity that's happening. And, you know, I always talk about how truly delicate life is and how blessed we are for every single minute we get, and that it really is all on the head of a pin anyways. So there is a particular glacier known as the Thwaites Glacier, which is in Pine Island Bay. And this glacier is really known as the Doomsday Glacier. And the reason it is that the glacier's size is, you know, in miles would be about 120,000 square miles. You know, roughly 193,000 kilometers square. It's absolutely massive. And what's happening right now is way down in the depths where the glacier is connected to the bedrock, well, warm water from the increase in ocean temperatures is literally attacking it from all sides, and that support that's attached to the bedrock is no longer really a support. It's more like a column. So why is that sort of important? Well, imagine an ice cube being dropped into a glass from a height of about 6 inches. So if this Thwaites Glacier were to give away, it would take the Pine Island Glacier right along with it. And it will give away. It's just a matter of when. And that will pretty much raise sea level around the globe 10 feet or 3 meters, just like that. Imagine every coastal city inundated by huge amounts of flooding. And this is not to scare anyone in any way. It's to simply remind us all that our time here is limited. And this leads right into what we're going to talk about tonight. The last thing we need to do with the limited time that we're gifted to be here on this planet, in this physical form, experiencing this journey back to ourselves, is to be afraid to participate in it. And that's what the title of the video is all about, choosing with confidence. Now, you know, from a humorous perspective, and believe me, from the point of view that I have, it's all pretty darn humorous. It really is. But from that humorous perspective, You know, we're all doomed anyways. Really, right? Every single one of us, we're doomed. We're doomed to die in the physical sense that we would call checking out. Now, the good news, of course, is that you can't die before your time, and you can't die after your time. You can only die when you're supposed to, when the time is just perfect. That is also a gift. But since we're talking about the reality that anything born into this relative universe is going to die, that's an absolute here. And we don't have to pay attention to absolutes because since we can't avoid them, there's no sense even worrying about them. And this is part of this choosing with confidence. But what choosing with confidence really comes down to is the simple decision to choose out of love instead of choosing out of fear. We get so caught up in the idea of making the right choice or the wrong choice that we never stop to understand that there really isn't any right or wrong choice. There's just choice and the consequences of that choice, the natural rebalancing of the energetic output of our choice. It is not good nor bad. As a matter of fact, you know, the way we judge things, if we look back in our lives, a lot of those seemingly bad choices turned out to be just wonderful ultimately for us. And we go, whew, glad I didn't make the right choice. And yet we're obsessed with the concept that we have to make the right choice and not the wrong choice. I would say to you this: if you must have a right or wrong choice, let this be your guide. Making the right choice is a choice always made out of love. Love for yourself, love for the momentary existence that you have here, love for another who you see in yourself, love for your own creativity, love for life. Anything that embodies love and the emotions that are synonymous with love, peace, tranquility, harmony, compassion, all of these things, if your choice embodies love, you cannot make the wrong choice. The other side of that, of course, is you can make choices out of fear. Now, you are so loved. God, that creative divine consciousness that is love, that you are made of and swimming in and part of and cannot be separate from at any time, you are so deeply loved that even if you choose to make choices out of fear, they are never the wrong choices either. Because every choice we make out of fear, those become our greatest teaching moments. Those become the moments where we are offered the most opportunity to expand and to grow, to evolve our sense of self, to catch on to this true strength that we have, the true power of our inner being. This is why, you know, Kelly mentioned in the comments to the post for this video that I make decisions just at the drop of a hat, snap of a finger. And that is true and it's not true. There's a lightning fast process that happens. But at the end of the day, I am driven by the confidence to know that as long as my choices are made out of love and in alignment with the truth of my existence, that there really can never be no perceived ill effect from my choice. And that always doesn't appear to be true to other people. But I'm willing to not judge what comes as an echo back to my choice, because that's what the universe does for us. It echoes our choice back to us and it says, is this what you wanted? Now, we think that just because we've made a choice that we're stuck with it. We never are stuck with it. In every moment, you are offered the ability to make a new choice. If the last choice you made was made out of fear, so perhaps you lied to someone, or perhaps you weren't honest or truthful with the way you really felt because you were afraid you weren't going to look good, or afraid that you weren't going to have approval, or afraid that someone would be upset with you, rather than let that thorn that you've planted there, that dissonant, non-authentic attack on your own being that your ego perpetrates, you're offered the opportunity to choose again. To come back to a choice of love. First, love for yourself. The willingness to choose to forgive yourself for any perceived bad choices, because there's really no such thing. There is just choices that lead to sunnier skies and easier pathways. And you know what? There's days when I take the choice that leads to the dark and gloom and doom and rocky climb. And I do so knowingly. Why? Because sometimes I'm a sucker for punishment. I really don't mind clambering through the dark. But this is really what our choices are all about. When we choose out of love, when we choose out of all those things that represent the truth of our journey here, you got to give up what the appearance may be on the surface, because appearances are not what they appear to be. We certainly aren't. And nothing else really is either. You know, if you could see with eyes that absorbed more than 2% of the light spectrum, you would see that there is literally an entirely different universe that you live in, that's right there at your fingertips. So I want you to let go of the concept that any of your choices can actually be wrong. Don't allow yourself to become paralyzed by the idea that you're going to make a choice that may somehow be the wrong choice. You are loved. There is no choice that is not made right in creation. There is no path you can take that God does not make perfect for you. This is the gift of being here. It may appear in some way that you're struggling, that you're on that path, and it may appear doom and gloomy. Don't beat yourself up. You can choose to forge ahead, to be burned by the fire of that doom and gloomy path you're on, to make sure you've burned up that last sense of egoic self, knowing full well that the light of the sun at the end of the tunnel is you, and when you're ready, you will choose anew and step out into the sunlight again. Let go of guilt for the idea that your choices are somehow, like from your past, are somehow your responsibility today. You are not what you were then. You do not possess the consciousness then that you do now. That is the past, and that echo of the past only serves the egoic self. That which you truly are, the divine spark that looks back upon creation and itself in order to know itself, to commune with itself, it's not looking backwards. It's looking forwards. Asking, what do you choose, my love, my child? And the answer is always the same, as you wish. It's not good choice and bad choice, or, well, that sounds wonderful, but it's none of that. It's as you wish. Why? Because there's an implicit promise already there. You're beyond harm. You will never be judged for your lack of awareness in a choice you make. Just as we do not judge a baby for its choice to knock a cup off of a coffee table. You are never doomed for your choices, and you are never stuck with your choice. And if you perceive you are stuck with your choice, it's only because you are still living in the land of fear. Walk back into the light. Make your choices out of love, and you will never go astray. Either way. That's it. That's all tonight. Happy Friday. It's a very cool, very kind of cloudy and windy and looks like it's going to snow again, but we know that spring is coming back very soon, and I've got flowers to plant. Have a beautiful weekend. We will speak again very soon.